Hello, my name is Gareth. You're watching the Hub Online Network, and today we are back. We weren't here on Friday because we had some technical issues having to do with a cord that didn't work after our shooting of Desert Days, but we are back with a vengeance with probably a show and a half this time around because we're catching up for Friday. We're talking about what's going on in Ashcroft, the flooding in Cache Creek, Trudeau's We Charity, and COVID numbers reach over 100 new cases over the past week. Let's get to it. Right, so a reminder, property taxes are due by 4 p.m. tomorrow, July 15th in Ashcroft. Payments may be submitted in the drop box or in person. They are accepting credit or debit only, no cash. The village office is open between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. Have you done your taxes yet, Jessica?
I just realized that no, we have not. Whoops. I did transfer my portion to my husband so that he could pay it, but now I can't find the piece of paper that says how much we owe. So I also need to find it to write the homeowner grant application thing on the back of it. So we better do that.
8 and 4 tomorrow.
I might have to go in and just pay it. Yeah.
The village of Ashcroft would also like to remind you that nearly half of all wildfires in BC are human caused and therefore preventable. You can prevent them by following a few simple rules, such as check for bans and restrictions. Campfires can't be larger than 0.5 meters high and 0.5 meters wide. Keep a shovel or 8-liter jug of water nearby to extinguish your fire. Create a fuel break around your fire. Never leave a campfire unattended. Ensure your campfire is completely out and the ashes cool to touch before you leave. Call 1-800-663-5555 or you can text 5555 on your cell if you spot smoke, flames, or an unattended campfire. For safety camping guidelines in park and backcountry, visit at BC Parks, which is at http, this is a weird one, ://ol.ly OW.ly-N0BK30QHRW3.
I think you can probably just Google BC Parks.
Yeah, check that out.
Yeah, okay.
Ashcroft Volunteer Fire Department Chief Josh White has been honored by the Western Hockey League and Fountain Tire via the Fountain Tire 3 Stars program. Have you heard about this?
I saw it on Facebook a couple of weeks ago, yeah.
You're friends with Josh, right?
Yeah, acquaintance, yeah.
Earlier this year, Fountain Tire teamed up with the WHL to honor local difference makers, recognizing stars in 21 cities across Canada who go above and beyond to make their community a better place through their volunteerism, humanitarianism, and generosity. While these community members were recognized individually across 17 WHL markets earlier in the season, now the entire WHL community is highlighting the importance of these stars and their work during COVID-19. Now in Cache Creek, reminder that we are on a stage 4 water restrictions that are still in effect. We only have one running well, so do not use any irrigation or wash vehicles. And we have an update in regards to the flooding going on in Cache Creek, which says, so this is from yesterday, the next one will probably come out in about an hour from now. So the river level I'm at the bottom here. The town enjoyed a mostly dry and pleasant weekend. The brief spells of rain on Sunday did not impact water levels in the river. The BC Rivers Forecast Center downgraded our previous flood watch to a high streamflow warning yesterday. The river level continues to drop, but at an extremely slow rate. Our state of local emergency has been extended until July 18th. BC Housing has been inspecting the residents that were formerly under evacuation order. One property along the river remains under evacuation order, while the rest are still under evacuation alert. Residents on alert may come and go, but they should have their essentials packed in case they have to leave quickly. The stage 4 water restrictions remain in effect, and the community park is still closed until further notice because of high groundwater. Walking, driving, or doing anything else in the water damages the ground and the irrigation system, which taxpayers will eventually have to repair if people pay their taxes in Cache Creek. Do not enter the park while there is still standing water in it. Did you see the thing on CFJC where the woman took a kayak into the water?
In Cache Creek?
Yeah, she's like, I'm going to take a advantage of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and she's kayaking in the water
Wow.
in the park.
Is it that deep? I would think
it
that
was
the,
that
the
deep.
paddle, but even the paddles would get stuck on the ground. You'd be,
So there's the part, like the parking lot,
yeah.
and the ground are the same level of water, and the parking lot is, that much deeper than
Wow.
the park
So
itself.
it's a lovely marsh right
Yeah.
now.
Please stay at least 10 feet away from the riverbanks. Keep children and pets away from the riverbanks. Bank erosion is still a major hazard. Stay back and be safe. Also remember to maintain COVID-19 physical distancing and protocols. Keep your distance, wash your hands, wear a mask if you have one. That is from the village of Cache Creek. And they have been doing everything they can to keep flooding at a minimum. So thank you to the council members, the village workers, and everyone else that is involved with the EOC and ESS. Brad Viss retweeted, so we're going to get to this story a little bit more, but Brad Viss retweeted, if Trudeau wanted to pay young people to work with charities, he could simply have boosted the Canada Summer Jobs Program, which does that already. But that would not have allowed him to give $900 million to a group that paid his family $300,000. Harsh.
Oh.
Now, Brad Viss did not say that himself. Again, that's a retweet from another Conservative MP from a different province, but still that gets the point across. Jackie Taggart says, local farmers and food producers work hard to safely get fresh local food on British Columbians' tables, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. Let's continue to show support and gratitude to our neighbors. Buy BC to support local restaurants, farmers, and food producers all over the province. We are all in this together. So thank you, Jackie Taggart, for that poignant piece of information and opinion. Now, you wanted to talk about something specifically today. What's going on with you?
I just wanted to mention a couple of the events that are coming up. There's not a lot going on because of COVID, but there are a few things happening. So the Hub, with our brand new program coordinator position, she's already crazy busy, started work, and she has a virtual kids camp starting next week, hopefully, and she will be on the show on Friday to give us more details about that, but just a heads up for that. Something else fun to do for the kids and for yourself is the Ashcroft Museum is doing a plein air paint out on the 22nd, which is next Wednesday, I believe, from 10 till noon. Connect with the museum by Friday to reserve your canvas, and their number is 453-9232. And then you can either paint at the museum on Wednesday morning, or you take your canvas home and paint it, and they're going to be displaying the canvases, painted canvases, in the museum, and then also on their Facebook and website, and then their newsletter in August. Just a reminder again that the Cache Creek Market is every Saturday. I went specifically for donuts on Saturday because there's a lady there that makes the most amazing sourdough donuts and cinnamon buns, which were delicious. So from 9 till 1 on Saturday mornings on the Highway 97 and 1. And then again back to the Hub. I'm just going to keep toting the Hub here. We've got our July fundraiser, which is Sipology by Steeped Tea. So we've got 7 different teas and hot chocolate and some loose leaf teaware available. All of the items are $12, and proceeds for that go to the Hub to help reach our fundraising goal, which is to keep and create new programming here at the Hub.
Awesome.
That's it.
Have you had any of the loose leaf tea?
I should drink more tea, and I wish that I did, but I just really love the taste of coffee. But I have so much tea at home that I should drink. And the Sipology tea is really, really good. It's all really good quality.
Do they have any Diet Coke flavored tea?
No, but they have a root beer one. They have a root beer flavored.
That's fun.
Yeah.
All right.
And it smelled like root beer. And Beth said that it tasted like root beer. So I might have to try it because I have some root beer fans in my house. So,
Well, awesome.
yeah.
If you've tried this tea, let us know. You can email us at hon@ashcrofthub.com. And if you haven't bought any yet, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Now, from the interior, the Thompson Okanagan Tourism Association, or TOTA, and 9 Community Futures offices across the region, including Community Futures Sun Country right here in Ashcroft, have signed an agreement to strike a task force committing to develop an active and meaningful relationship on the path to rebuilding a resilient tourism industry in the wake of the pandemic. So that's awesome. Thank you, of course, Deb Arnott and the Community Futures team in Ashcroft. That's a great thing. My wife works in the tourism industry, and she would love to get back to work. I can assure you of that. So, in the province, Premier John Horgan held a press conference last Thursday, so this is getting to some news from last week. He spoke about how the provincial COVID numbers are staying low and more things in our economy are starting back up. Currently, there are 24 movies being made in the film industry, which is a great restart. I have several friends that work in the film industry, so if you're one of them, congratulations if you're back to work. He says that he has been working on the Clean BC plan, and our education sector is as robust as we can make it. He vowed that there will be a robust plan in place come September. He says people are adapting and trying to make do while trying to restart our economy. He gave Dr. Bonnie Henry a shout out in regards to how her plan has helped us get through this pandemic. Now, my understanding of the upcoming school year is that some kids are going to go to school Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday is going to be a day off for teachers to clean. And then the other half of students are going to go in Thursday and Friday. So that's my understanding of the current situation when September rolls around. But I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know. Again, email us. Comment on this video. Let me know.
I'm sure that plans will change right up until the last week of August, too.
Yeah, right?
I know there's some school districts that are going to be requiring mask wearing of the students and some aren't, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Well, I think that the next thing will be a thing that determines that. So, going all the way back to July 8th, new BC COVID numbers. On Wednesday of last week, we saw 18 new cases. Thursday brought us 20 new cases. Friday brought us 25 new cases. And over the weekend, we had an uptick of 62 new cases from Saturday until Monday. In the last week alone, we are looking at 125 new cases of COVID-19 in BC. These numbers have pumped up in the Interior's case, which brought us from 203 last week to 209 this week, which includes the potential outbreak scenario in Kelowna over the Canada Day weekend. So there's actually a COVID-19 outbreak alert that goes all over Oliver Farm. So let me just make this a little bit bigger here. So in Oliver, Interior Health's medical health officer has issued an order for the Crazy Cherry Fruit Company in Oliver due to 2 positive COVID-19 cases associated with the farm. The risk of exposure to the general public related to the farm is considered to be low. And there is an update from this saying that it is considered to be very low, so they are allowing Crazy Cherry Fruit Company to continue picking the fruit and selling the fruit, but they have had 2 cases. The order applies to all 36 TFWs and 9 additional individuals on the farm. These individuals are restricted from leaving while further testing and investigation takes place. So that is going on in Oliver. So if you're there, let us know what the feeling is like there. But in Kelowna, there was a big scare. I'm not sure if they have any actually confirmed cases based off of this, but they're saying that if you were in Kelowna on the waterfront area on the weekend of Canada Day through the following week, and it's all waterfront, and then certain stores going down. I can't remember the name of the street, but it's like the main street just off of the waterfront there. There's several stores that these people that are suspected to have COVID have gone into. So if you were in downtown Kelowna from like the 1st to the 7th. Self-isolate, call 811 if you have symptoms, make sure that you get tested. Okay, so now we're going to talk about We Charity. So from CBC, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's mother Margaret and his brother Alexandre have both been paid tens of thousands of dollars to appear at WE charity events. Now the reason that I bring this particular one up is A, it's a big news thing for the country, and B, it does actually affect the hub because we have taken advantage of this particular charity that's been going on.
We're on the list.
Right?
But everything has stopped because
Right.
now there's no administrator for it. Yeah.
So both Margaret and Alexandre have registered with the Speaker's Spotlight Bureau and which arranges appearances for clients in exchange for negotiated fees. Margaret spoke at approximately 28 events and received honoraria amounting to $250,000, while Alexandre spoke at 8 events and received approximately $32,000. Prime Minister Trudeau and his government have been under fire since announcing on June 25th that they were awarding a $19.5 million sole source contract to We Charity to administer the Canada Student Service Grant, a $912 million program offering grants of between $1,000 and $5,000 to post-secondary students in return for supervised volunteer hours. We Charity said last week that it was pulling out of the administrating of the CSSG, the name of the thing, citing an ongoing controversy surrounding it and the government's decision to give the sole source contract to We. Prime Minister Trudeau said that the federal government would take over the program. Now, since that's happened, the reason this has come about is the Conservatives are saying, what they're saying in regards to the issue is Prime Minister personally intervened to direct the billion-dollar program to We, a charity that has paid his family more than $300,000. Hang on, I have an actual bit of story here. So since this has all happened, Justin Trudeau has since apologized for his behavior on television, stating that he did not recuse himself from the negotiating table, but he should have. He was unaware of how involved the charity is with his family, and since apologizing, the NDP leader Jagmeet Singh has come out and said on Twitter that Mr. Trudeau apologizing isn't enough. When the apology is only because you got caught, for example, the con trip, caught. Helping friends at SNC Lavalin, caught. We Charity, caught. Saying sorry in front of a camera means nothing when you keep doing the same thing behind closed doors. Now, this is one of those rare instances where this has brought the opposition parties together. Both the Conservatives and the NDP are calling Justin Trudeau out on this. And this will be the third time that Prime Minister Trudeau has been to the Ethics Committee since he's been Prime Minister. Now, from CFJC, sources say Canada and the United States are likely to agree to extend their mutual ban on non-essential travel between the two countries for another 30 days. The Canada-US border has been closed to so-called discretionary travel like vacations and shopping trips since COVID-19 pandemic took hold in the middle of March, and an agreement has been set to expire on the 21st. Officials familiar with the ongoing talks, speaking on conditions of anonymity to discuss matters, have not yet been made public, say another extension until August 21st is all but inevitable. Now, that being said, there are several people that work in like the pandemic world. They're saying this is going to be an indefinite thing until a vaccine is made. So it's very possible that you can't just cross the border until probably March or June of next year.
Well, and I mean, the U.S. doesn't have their numbers under control either. So. In
a recent graph I saw, it shows Canada's going down, Mexico's going down, and the States just going up. So, but that being said, you can't cross the border, but you can still fly into the States.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. It's interesting. My sister just started seeing somebody that lives in Montana, and she's down in Fernie. So they're only 5 hours away, and so they've been kind of online and chatting and phone conversations and whatnot. But they actually found a place that they could get to the border on either side to actually have a face-to-face conversation for the first time in their relationship. It's things you got to do during COVID.
Well, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau hinted at the possibility Monday after a phone call with U.S. President Donald Trump. Trudeau says Canada is closely monitoring what he calls a constantly evolving situation, but won't say whether the officials have discussed extending the border restrictions beyond the standard 30-day window. That being said, this is what I was talking about before, infection control epidemiologist predicts the Canada-US border will only open if a COVID vaccine is created or if enough people have been infected with the virus and build up a herd immunity. With the states having around 50,000 new cases a day at this time, this could be a very legitimate prediction. Now, the states have 50,000 people getting it a day, but Canada doesn't. If you look at the map, the states is red. We have red pockets. So if we were just to open up the border, we don't have herd immunity.
No.
The states might get it, but we don't have.
Yeah.
We won't.
Yeah.
So
And if they're not listening to their own scientists and people in charge, I don't think they're going to listen to our rules.
right
So,
now, I said it was going to be a long one. That's it.
oh,
That's really all the stuff that's going on right now. Yeah, so thank you all for watching. Sorry for the overall short video. But we'll see you guys on Friday. Have a safe week and stay out of the water in Cache Creek.